Hello everyone and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I'm Gwendolyn Apisi, and if you're just joining this channel, here we talk about men's health, women's health, hygiene, pathology, which is diagnosis, treatment and prevention of diseases. I'm a medical microbiologist. I'm also a poet, a writer and an entrepreneur. But continuing what I was saying, we talk about beauty, cosmetic formulation of products, and also culture, lifestyle. I'm Cameroonian and I am proud to be one. So today we'll be talking about how to register a non-governmental organization, a non-profit organization in Cameroon. Now, I know what you'll be thinking. You will be saying, why should I listen to her? She doesn't work in the government. She's not a lawyer. She's not a notary. Why should I listen to what she's saying? Or you'll be thinking, is the information that she's giving me really true? Can I trust her information? Well, this is one reason. I just came from obtaining my NGO and I have lots of information. I was working with the best lawyers, and also because I love to read, and by the special grace of God, they actually scooped me into a lot of procedures. I actually took part in it and it was a beautiful journey. Now, there are a lot of things that lawyers don't tell you, neither does the government tell you. And I had the opportunity, the privilege to be able to sit on the same table with them, listen to what they have to say. And so I'll be giving you insight on what it really takes, what you need to actually register your NGO. The first thing I'd like to say is the rules in Cameroon has changed. The government has put in a new law that says that all non-profit organizations must pay tax. That was as from 2021 onwards. So if you have a non-profit organization, or you have an NGO, a foundation, an association, just make sure that you go to the tax office in your region or where your NGO is registered, and then you can start paying your tax. This is very important. I don't know why they put it that way, but we live by the rules. Remember, a good citizen is a good Christian, and it's very good to follow the laws because we live by the laws. And also another thing I noticed is, I learned in this process, is when you want to create an NGO, a non-profit organization in Cameroon, there are procedures. The first step you need to start is with an association. And after 3 years, you can move into a foundation. So you cannot just get up and want to register a foundation without first owning an association. And in that association, you have to be able to, and one of the criteria to be able to move from an association to a foundation is that you should be able to prove activity within the 3 years, which the association has done within the country, and a lot more. So it's not just automatic. So you should be able to raise funds by yourself to be able to move into the level of a foundation. Now, I know a lot of people will be asking, are you trying to say that I can register my association by myself, my NGO by myself? Yes, you can. But most times when you enter a public office in Cameroon, or if you meet somebody and to process a documentation for you, and they discern that you don't have the right knowledge or all the knowledge which you need or concerning that file or that document which you're following, there's an 80% chance that you will be scammed. You will be given inflated prices of something that doesn't exist. Remember, in Cameroon, there is no tariff, like tariffs of sharp tariff. Let me say, if you're processing a documentation for an NGO, it's 50,000 francs CFA. No, it's not. And I also know that in every region, there's also a slight variation of prices, which it takes to have an association or a foundation. So I will advise that you get a lawyer to do it for you. It could be a little bit pricey, but then you'll get all your documentation done. And this is very important. Now, the first you have some requirements which you need. And the first requirement that you need is that you need to write a letter to the SDO, the divisional officer in your region, telling you, applying that, writing an application, telling him that that he should approve your application to start an NGO. And when you have done that, you actually certify that copy, certification in Cameroon at the prefecture. And after that, you also need 3 copies of the article of association. I'll go through what an article of association is, 3 copies of the bylaws or the internal laws of that association. You also need a list of the directors, the director members, the attendance sheet of those who attended the first meeting, and also 3 copies of the meeting, of the consistent meeting. So these are the things that you need to be able to start processing your document. Now, like this is what it's going to look like. A stamp like this, which you're going to get at the Ministry of Finance, depending on where, which region it is. You can get it at the tax office, or you can get this at the sous-prefecture or at the SDO's office, which you can get this stamp. So you first write an application for the authorization of a non-profit association. A non-profit association in the name of, you give the name, and then you write to him, and then you tell him whatever you want to tell him. Make sure that it is well done, professionally done. And that is why I advise that you should also meet a law firm that has done this, so they can easily aid you. And then when you come to the point of article of association, it talks about the name of the association, the purpose of it, the objectives that should be included, the office location and the duration, also the structure and membership of the association which you're creating, and also the meetings that be held, how many times will the meeting be held, and also the voting, the order of the business. That means the roll call, reading of minutes, all of that, all that is going to take place during the meetings, the officers that you intend, even though you may not have all the members to fill in the positions that are under the officers, you can still include it. And then you have to write and define their job descriptions. That is all in the article of association, their accounting and records, the amendments, the solution, and final proposition. And then you sign, and then your secretary signs. This is very important. The bylaws, also the same thing, the purpose. We have the purpose, the membership, the dues, the meetings, voting, order of business, officers. You also have the salaries that are going to be paid to every member of that association, and then a conflict of committees. And then finally, you make sure that you also take a photocopy of the ID card of each member, of each officer of the association. This is very, very important. You photocopy it and add it. And on the list of executives, you also have to include their function, profession, ID card number, and then also you put in, I think, those who attended the meeting, and make sure they all sign, and that is it. Now, roughly it will take about 2 weeks, like 10 working days for actually it to be processed. What I advise people is, it is good to have your NGO, your non-profit association or non-profit organization registered, because it's easier to get funding and get recognition, and also referrals, and also you partner with a lot of people. I remember when I started my project with albinos, it was so hard using my company documents to be able to help the community or impact the community. I started doing it as a corporate social responsibility, but it was so hard. And then the delegate of social affairs actually advised me to register an association, and it would help me a lot. A lot of doors were open for me, and it was amazing. It may not be financially, but let me tell you, the government of Cameroon actually recognizes NGOs, and I will advise that before you even start asking for funds, try and do a little bit of work by yourself in the community before seeking out. Remember, we live in a world that people wouldn't give money to someone who hasn't proven out a concept, who hasn't proven out that it can work, that you can make it by yourself. And also your projects needs to be sustainable. What I mean is that means that it can be able to power itself. That means if you are being supported with 10 million francs by the government or by another association, that money should be able to run and also provide money to pay the workers, pay the buildings, be sustainable, and create more activities on its own. Having an association is really, really good. And I'm telling you, people, this is just, having this done was really not that expensive, and I got a lawyer to do it. And you just need to get a good lawyer who will be able to process it for you and give you. They are very, very professional lawyers and honest lawyers, which you can get. You can do it yourself. Like I said, there are people who I know who will try to do this themselves, but let me tell you, when it comes to writing the bylaws and also doing the article of association, you need a legal mind, because they already have a template. So you could just actually pay your legal fees, whatever they ask you for. It could be 20K, 30K, 40K for them to process your document, and know that roughly how much, I don't know how much they're going to charge you, but that's like what I said, it depends on the region which you are filing this document, because every region has a problem. How do I know this? Because I have other colleagues who have, or other friends who are registered in other regions, and the price ranges were different. Also, trust me, legal fee is different. And let me tell you, you wouldn't expect the lawyer to tell you every nitty-gritty behind the walls. So I was privileged to be able to work with one of the top lawyers in Cameroon, and they were able to show me the processing and also the laws that bind them, because they have a lot of law books here. And so I've been reading a lot. So I'll be producing good videos, particularly how to create companies, CIALs, public limited companies, private limited companies, and a lot more. A lot of things are changing in Cameroon. So please, people, please register your association. It's easier to be recognized, referrals, and also it gives you credibility. You can do a lot when you're when your association is registered. And also don't forget that you need good documentations to open a bank account. Many sponsors don't like to give money in cash. They like to do bank transfer. That is why if you go to register in a bank, they are very, very prudent to look carefully at the documents that you're giving them, the association document, the NGO document that you're giving them. So this is very important, because you will need to open an account where you will need to get sponsors wire the money into you, whether it's from the government or whether it's from a private institution. So I hope I was able to help you today. If you have any questions, please do pop it below, and please do brace yourself, because this 2022 that is coming up, I have a lot of juicy topics for you. And God bless you. God bless you.